James 1, verses 2 and 4. 2 through 4. But first, please help my humble channel to grow. Like, subscribe, share, comment, any combination thereof. And why? Because you're beautiful on the inside and on the outside. That's why. So this is for y'all. James 1, verse 2. Count it all joy, my brothers, when you meet trials of various kinds. For you know the testing of your faith produces steadfastness, and let steadfastness have its full effect, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing. The problem with a lot of UTIs is you think you perfect and you complete already, and you think that that's why you're suffering is because you're so perfect. The reason you're not able to count it all joy in the midst of your trials of various kinds, the way James tells us we're to do. This is literal. This is not figurative. And so many of y'all is just complaining, griping, pissing, is moaning. It's because y'all have not been following what the Lord has been telling me to teach and preach on this channel to y'all. That is Malachi chapter 3. You are cursed with a curse, for you are robbing me of tithes and offerings. So you're robbing God and you're cursed. Matthew 25. Jesus says you are cursed because you are not helping the least of his people. And the homeless or folks that are starving to death in the third world would meet most of those qualifications of what Jesus defines as the least of my people. You're not helping the least of his people. And the consummate verse, although this is throughout the Bible, is Ezekiel 16:48-49. This was the sin of your sister Sodom. She had pride, excess of food, prosperous ease, and she did not aid the poor and the needy. She did not aid the poor and the needy. That is one of the abominations of Sodom and Gomorrah. And since UTIs are participating in one of the abominations of Sodom and Gomorrah, y'all can't count it all joy. All y'all can do is piss and moan, complain, whine, be stressed out and anxious, be constantly on the edge, barely being able to hang in there and hold your mind straight. It makes sense. You're cursed. You're robbing God. It makes sense. If you stop doing that and you start doing what the Lord has told me to teach and to preach in my channel, y'all will be able to start doing what James says. And that is, you will be able to count your sufferings all joy. That's not a joke. It's not about being a masochist. It is about God is using these trials to complete you, to perfect you, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing. None of us are perfect. My heart, Jeremiah says this, and it is a standalone verse that applies to everyone, and I've in previous videos given multiple scripture that says the same thing. Jeremiah 17:9 says, the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? God, because God knows all things. But we want to make ourselves out to be righteous. We're empaths. We're victims. They're targeting us because we're so good. That's the only way we want to see it. Ways that make us look good and that demonize them and make us look like we're angels. Follow what I tell y'all to do. Pay your tithes and offerings. Don't make excuses. Make sacrifices. A lot of UTIs, you love to come do the cheap excuse. I can't afford to. Y'all got memberships, cable, subscriptions. You go on vacation. Some of y'all go on cruises. You go to Starbucks to brag about going to Starbucks and paying for the overpriced drinks. You buy new clothes when the clothes you have are perfectly fine. Or you could get free clothes from a church, but you're too prideful to do that. You'd have to do your homework, but there are churches that will give you free clothes. What else? Y'all go to restaurants. You go out to the movies. And you're being targeted the whole time. Don't make excuses, make sacrifices. Y'all got the money to help people. When you do that and you begin to save human beings' lives, particularly in the third world, sponsoring children through reputable charities such as World Vision. These are the 12 young ladies I sponsor through World Vision. And I sponsor them because the Lord makes me, because he's righteous, not because of me. If the Lord wasn't making me do it, I would not be sponsoring these young ladies. I'm doing this. I'm telling you about this not to brag about me, But to point out, y'all got no excuses. If I can do this on one SSI, y'all can do it as well. I'm doing it because I'm blessed. The peace of mind, serenity, the freedom to live my life any way I want to, primarily only having to answer to God. The contentment in the midst of this targeting, the fact that the Lord makes my life get better and better, that's why I'm telling you I do this. This is how God rewards me for obeying him when he makes me do right by him. Y'all need to do the same thing. And I'm telling you, even in the midst of your trials, you will be able to count it as all joy. We know Paul went through all kinds of incredible suffering. He was ultimately martyred, beatings. They tried to take his life multiple times because he was preaching the word. Paul says he was content under all circumstances. God has this for y'all. All y'all can think of is, I want the program to end. I want the program to end, because you want to return back to your sinful lifestyles apart from God. You don't really want to serve God, because a lot of you guys, you're not sincerely serving him now. I done said y'all are robbing him. You're refusing to pay your tithes and offerings. You're cursed because God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, says that you are cursed. Not me. I'm not glad that you're cursed, but you are cursed. God said so. God says so in Malachi chapter 3. Jesus says you're cursed in Matthew 25. So y'all stop doing all that. Start following what the Lord has told me to teach and preach to y'all, and y'all gonna be blessed. You will be removed from under the curse. You will no longer be robbing God, and God will be using you to help save other people's lives. I really have a heart for the third world. Okay, because you can really save people from starvation. The way the Lord has me sponsoring these children is every month, and I have 12 of them, and it's gonna be limited at 12. Then I have to just start over from the first one. But to pay their sponsorship 12 months up front, that's $39 times 12, and then send $200 to the parents or parent of the children to spend as they best see fit. They'll get 150 of that they get to keep. And 50 will go to the community to buy food for people in their community to help prevent jealousy from people in the community that did not get a sponsor. And that will help ensure that they're not just going to be getting beans and rice and have to live off beans and rice and be happy with that, because World Vision gives them the basics that are necessary for survival. So you give them more. I recommend y'all do all, and then I'm telling you, so you will be blessed. God bless.